Good afternoon. My name is Laurence Lahai-Taylor, and this is our 14th Salifest, a second year online. We're here to present our culture of food and what we do during Salifest kitchen. Our menu for the day is curry goat, macaroni cheese, rice and peas, and coleslaw. Our ingredients for the curry goat, we have goat meat, scotch bonnet, lamb seasoning, kidney beans, tomato puree, scallion, known as spring onions, and white onions, potatoes, madras, curry powder with garam masala. We have garlic and pots of bouillon, salt and pepper. For a macaroni cheese, a macaroni, curly macaroni, single cream, mature cheddar in a white cream based sauce. For coleslaw, we have white cabbage, grated carrots, diced onions, mayonnaise. We're now going to heat our pan up. This is a Dutch oven, normally called the Dutch pot, which is very good for high density cooking. We are now going to seal the meat. We're now going to add the oil to the hot pan. Our aim at this point is to brown the meat. I'm going to dice onions and add them to the pot. We're now adding the onions. Now we're going to add in the lamb seasoning. Now we're going to squash in the garlics. I'd say 4 to 5 cloves. We'll add in some tomato puree. And we'll put in some water. Then we're going to dilute and incorporate the bouillon, stock cubes, as well as meat or chicken stock cubes. This should thicken up and give it a good sauce. So 2 or 3, depending on the amount of meat we have. Tomato also helps and thickens the sauce. I'm now adding some fresh thyme from the garden and just let this simmer gently. We would then later add in the potatoes, diced potatoes, big chunks, with some spring onions and scotch bonnet at the last minute whilst it will cook down. Cutting up the thyme. We descale the thyme like this. And the rosemary, just want the leaves really. You can pick them off gently, if not just pull it from the stalks. Fresh herbs are very good, and it'd be encourageable for everyone to have a little herb garden. Chopping up the herbs,
Just give them a rough chop, bruise them a little to get the flavours out. Peel the potatoes and dice them to go into the pot.
We're adding the potatoes to the stew. Just give one scotch bonnet quick rings and place it in the pot.
Now cover this and let it simmer for a few hours.
Garam masala to a pot.
We're now going to add the spring onions to our curry, and now mostly the top parts with our rice and peas. So we've got the kidney beans and the scallion, spring onions simmering, and we give this a quick stir to make sure it's not burning on the bottom. This is still on slow simmer. This has been cooking very slowly, and you could tell when it's ready when the meat falls off the bottom. We're nearly there. This is thickening up very nicely. Always taste your food. Very good. And now we will put on our rice and peas. We're going to set the water to boil. We're going to strain the red kidney beans with the scallion, which is spring onions, and some seasoning herbs, thyme, bay leaf, fresh herbs, and reduce it somewhat. Then we'll add the rice, and that will steam through. Kidney beans and the spring onions boiling up, and we will later add in a rice, which is going to cook down with some coconut oil. And we're going to add coconut cream to the rice. I could add a little coconut cream here to the sauce. This goes spoil. And we add the rice. Typically we would use 2 cups to 1 cup of rice, but at this stage we have got kidney beans in there, which is going to absorb a lot of the water. So we just gave it a bit more water. So I'm not quite sure, but I will take some out just to be sure. And we could always add, but it's very difficult to remove. Bring that up to boil. We're now going to add some salt with the boiling water for the macaroni cheese. We will boil the macaroni, cool it down, and commence. We're now going to strain the pasta. We've cooked it al dente, so it's just got a little bit of bite, because we are going to finish cooking this off in the oven to brown it up with the cheese. I'm going to add cream and some white sauce, which is butter, flour, and some milk. And we're going to combine that. Now we're going to start the white sauce. Just a bit of butter. Add some flour to the butter to make the cream sauce, and going to combine this roux with some milk and thicken the sauce. Added butter and flour, plain flour, and milk. Cheese sauce, which we've got the macaroni cheese mixed in the cream, and now we're going to sieve in our cheese sauce, well, our bechamel sauce, and then we're going to add the cream and the cheese. We sieve the sauce just to make sure we remove all lumps. Add in the grated cheese. We're using mature grated cheddar cheese. And stir it all in. And as thick as it is, the pasta will continue to absorb the milk. What I'd like to do is add some more milk to make sure when it goes into the oven, a lot of the milk will evaporate, but I would like the sauce to still, macaroni cheese to still be moist. Macaroni cheese will be in the tray. Grated cheese on the top, and finish off in the oven. Just until it gets nice and brown. First, we start off by peeling the carrots. Grate them and leave them to stand because they have a lot of juices which we want out of it, so it doesn't make the coleslaw too slow. We will now get our beloved Usman to grate the carrots.
It doesn't matter.
No, because we're going to keep them going back to the pot, won't we?
Okay.
The boys, man, the boys are on the show.
That's fine. That's enough. It's enough.
Is this a salad that you're making?
This is coleslaw.
Oh!
And I don't eat coleslaw, but you know what I'm saying.
I like the onions nice and thinly diced so it's not visible, but tasteable. When we're slicing the onions, the roots at the bottom, the top, we then slice the direction. And then slice thinly. Always keep your knuckles to the knife so your fingertips are away from the knife. Black pepper or mixed peppers, and we toss. Mix very well. Try and crunch them also to break them in. The salt helps as well. The mayonnaise, which we will combine and put in the fridge till service. And you should always test your food. So we have a good combination of salt and pepper.